Missouri Nation, Jason Shepard here. In this video, we are planning leg number 1 of Oshkosh. What is happening, Missouri Nation? Jason Shepard here. I am so excited, really, for two major things here. One of those being Oshkosh, but the other one being today. Literally today, you're the first to hear about it. We are releasing a brand new book, and it's free. The book is called Paper to Pixel, and it's all about how you as a pilot can increase situational awareness using a tablet. Whether it's ForeFlight, Garmin Pilot, whatever app you choose, we're going to dive deep into some of the things I'm going to teach you, like flight planning, weight and balance, performance calculations, alternates, digital logbook, all of those things. We're going to talk about it in our video series, but it's also available in the book. The book is called Paper to Pixel. It is totally free until the end of August. So you've got a little less than 2 months to get it downloaded. There are links to download it in the description. So you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching this, go to this description and click that link to go ahead and download your copy. Again, it is free just for these 6-7 weeks, and then it'll go on sale after that. So make sure you grab your free copy of that. Just start diving into ways you can better yourselves as a pilot, and integrating an electronic flight bag like an iPad or whatever tablet you choose is a great way to go about it. The other bit of news, as you know, EAA AirVenture Oshkosh, it's here. Who am I going to see over in Hangar B at Oshkosh this year? Well, we're actually flight planning that route here today. Now, if you want to see what we flight plan versus what actually happens, well, I want you to follow us on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing stories and reels only on Instagram for our flight from Florida to Wisconsin and back. We're going to plan the first leg until we stop and have an overnight, Lord willing, where we plan, but we know what we plan here today may not be what actually happens. So I encourage you, let's watch this video, let's make the perfect plan, and then when we depart, and I believe our goal is to depart on the 18th of this month. Maybe it's the 17th of this month. Whatever that Monday is, we're rolling out July, I believe it's maybe 17th, that Monday, and we're going to head on out, and we're going to try to fly this leg we're planning right now. So let's look at it here together. I'm going to head over to the iPad. I am already on ForeFlight, and let's just, right now I've got layers turned off. We're not even worried about radar, although we are getting all those, look at these summer storms we're already dealing with, but radar right now doesn't do me any good. I'm just trying to figure out where on earth are we going to go, and what are we going to plan? Our goal, and all good flights have goals, right? Our goal is to make it, when we leave that Monday, again, I believe that's the 17th, to make it to Nashville. Ocala to Nashville is the goal. Let's go ahead and let's put that in here. So I've got 23 Mike Zulu, 6,000 feet. Again, I'm not as picky about altitudes right now. Again, I'm filming this weeks before we're actually departing. I know you're watching this just about a week before. Maybe I can do some follow-ups again on Instagram, so make sure you follow us there. Let's do KOCF, and let's go to KBNA, and let's just see what happens here. So we're going to let this load. You see right now, again, we have a 2-knot headwind. I'm not too worried about that, but you also see it showing 473 miles, 5 hours and 24 minutes. Now, as you know, 23 Mike Zulu only holds 4.5 hours of fuel. Now, another thing you know about me is I teach what I call my 3-hour rule. What is my 3-hour rule? We talked about this in last year's Safer Pilot Challenge, but let me share it again. The 3-hour rule says, from the moment I say clear prop and start that plane, to the moment the line guy or the line gal brings me in and tells me to shut down, that time better not exceed 3 hours. Which means I'm realistically flight planning 2:30, 2:40 type legs, right? 2 hours, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 40 minutes, maybe 2:45 type legs. And I know you're not burning as much fuel on taxi, on run up, on descent. And I know I hold 4.5 hours of fuel. I've never tested that theory. That's what my POH says, but I don't want to test that theory. I want to be landing with options, and fuel is options. So looking at our route here, let's just do a quick scan of our route here together. Anything jump out at you? Anything we need to worry about here? I've got a little bit of a MOA. I'm not worried about that. I'll be above all this airspace. Another big MOA. Do you see any restricted airspace? Again, could we do this VFR? Probably. Could we do this IFR? We'll probably end up going IFR just because it's such a long leg. But I like to give everything just a quick little scan. Okay, I've got Atlanta to deal with here. Depending on my altitude, I might kiss a little bit of Atlanta's Bravo. Assuming Atlanta's in a good mood, they'll send me right on through it. If not, it's just as easy to rubber band right on out of there a little bit sometimes, isn't it? So that's something else to think about. I've got, you West Coasters won't call these mountains, but that's a ridge. For us coming from Florida, this is some serious terrain. So just mindful of that. MSA's all nice and high, MEF's all nice and high through here, and then all the way up into Nashville. Okay, so nothing other than Atlanta really to worry about, but I need a good intermediate stop. Again, what are we flight planning? A 2-knot headwind and 5 hours, 24 minutes. So doing the math on that with my 3-hour rule, well, I believe we can knock this out with just one fuel stop. And that's not just a fuel stop, by the way. That's a stretch your leg stop. That's a bathroom break. That's just get out of this little airplane for a bit. I love little airplanes, but sometimes, and I'm flying with Matt, it's not always fun being cramped in a small place together sometimes. So it's nice to have that stop. So here's how I do that. Watch this. Let's look at our route as a whole here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go 2 fingers on the iPad, and I like to stretch out from Ocala, and you'll get a rough idea. Do you see how the time is changing there? 2:45 to, I stretch up into the 3 hours. What I like to do is say, okay, along this route, there's my 3-hour mark, right? Basically at the Atlanta Bravo. Do you see that? So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say, okay, show me where about 240, 245 is. Okay, it's somewhere around here. Here's 230. And actually, do you see there's a little airport right underneath that there? Let's see what that little airport is. I mean, it is perfectly on our route. Everything looks good there. It is Butler Municipal 6 Alpha 1. And it is right on right on our route. You couldn't ask for anything better than that. I like that. Now, I haven't done any research on 6 Alpha 1. We certainly will, but let's look at our actual flight plan now, right? We didn't add any time, basically, to our route. It's right along our route. I still have Atlanta's Bravo to contend with, and if you're a private pilot only and you're worried, maybe I don't want to deal with Atlanta, maybe they won't give me a Bravo clearance through it, you know what? Grab a little fuel stop. You could have grabbed and came over to Columbus if you wanted to. You could have came over to Columbus, and that would keep you well clear of that as well, if that Bravo is a concern. I know we became pilots to fly straight line distance and everything, and sometimes it works out like in this case, but not every time. Now, of course, there's a lot of other things to be thinking about here. I need to do some research on old 6 Alpha 1, and we can do that here together. I'm going to brief this live probably the day before on Instagram. So again, make sure you're following us on Instagram. But right now, this is the plan for leg number 1. Leaving Ocala on that Monday morning. If you are near Butler Municipal, track 23 Mike Zulu online and come say hi. And then obviously we're landing at Nashville as well. There's a lot more research that needs to go into this here. And I don't want this to end up being a 20-minute long video. That's not my goal here. But I need to research both airports. I would imagine Butler Municipal probably has 1 FBO. But I still want to research it. I want to call them, make sure fuel is good, make sure there's not anything I'm missing, check all the NOTAMs as we get closer. I want to call Nashville. And we've been to Nashville quite a few times. I believe we normally go to Signature there, but how are Signature's fuel prices right now? Are they in line with other FBOs there? I'm not loyal to any one particular FBO. I go where the fuel is the cheapest usually when it comes to multiple FBOs at the field, or the easier taxi sometimes too weighs into that. So these are the things you need to be mapping out. But the real focus here is I'm planning this weeks in advance, not even including weather in here just yet. Just what is my goal? Now, I'm really excited to follow up with you as we get a little bit closer. You're going to be following us on Instagram. Now that you know leg number 1, next week I'll share my goal for leg number 2. And it's a very, very cool 1,800-foot grass strip is along that route of flight. So that's gonna be very, very neat to share with you all as well. So follow us on Instagram. I look forward to seeing you maybe along one of these stops or certainly up at Oshkosh. Don't forget links in the description to download the new book, Paper to Pixel. I'll see you all next week as we look at what we're kind of planning for leg number 2 and why. Have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember, the good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see ya.